I just remember that record coming out and the whole album cycle for it. It didn't have that feel of like, oh, this is the guy from Tool's side project. It was like, this is a whole other band. And of course, in many ways, as people came to understand it, if any, it's, if anything, it's your band,
No, it was our band. I mean, it was Maynard and I. I mean, I think he went out of his way graciously to give me spotlight, because he knew he was going to get the focus because he's the singer. Whether whether you write the songs or not, a lot of times the singer gets the focus.
Sure.
And I think that he would, as someone was saying, they'd pan the camera to him, and he goes, "No, pan it to him. He did it's his band." And he was. Yeah. Maynard was incredibly gracious to give me a lot of credit. And looking back, and I could be modest and all this stuff, and before I didn't. Yes, it started with my idea. I got him involved. Luckily, he said yes, or offered his services, or however it went down. And I worked my ass off on it, and it was a long time coming. And the overnight success takes, in this case, 13 years.
Yeah.
And, for me, it was a roundabout way. I did less of playing with 7 bands and failing with them. I went the backdoor way of, working 4 bands and trying to learn from them and being this. I enjoyed working in service of, the technical stuff with bands, but I saw picking bad management, or people getting inebriated and being in it for the wrong reasons, or maybe they just want to pick up chicks, or whatever it was. That's an unsustainable path into rock and roll, let's say. That was an education for me. So once it came time to do this, I think I was ready. I was prepared for it. When they say, when opportunity strikes, be prepared. That's what luck is.
Yeah.
So I got lucky.
Well, did you have a sense that of what the longevity would be, or was it, each record was kind of like, well, we're probably just going to do this and that'll be that?
I thought, and I'll be honest, in Mer de Noms era, even in the middle of it, in the throes of it, I thought we would get done. We knew Tool was gonna ride again. But I thought it would be a little more continuous, and I guess it was. It felt long to me to go from Mer de Noms to 13 Step, and it really wasn't. What was it? It's 2000 and 2003, right?
Yeah. Which when you think about a Chinese Democracy or a Metallica, or these.
Or think about my record. I mean, I put out a solo record as Ashes Divide in 2008, and here it is. Like,
exactly.
It's crazy as you get a little older, and you start compressing. You look at the scale of time. It's truly, when you let's get into general relativity at this point. Like, time completely slows down on the spaceship, right, as you're going, and that's what it feels like. Everything else is aging. When I look back at, if you told me 14 years ago, from the time I started playing guitar in 1988, let's say, or 87, 14 years before that was ancient history. I mean, the music wasn't even resembling, right? Yeah. So think about what, even 14 years ago right now, it's still sort of in the same world. It's not, we're certainly in the same solar system, but that was in a different galaxy,
Yeah. I mean, I was in high school in the late 80s and early 90s, and the Misfits, had broken up in 1983. And that might as well have been the Civil War, like just another century. Like, to me, Minor Threat, Black Flag, the Misfits seemed like ancient history. Whereas in the grand scope of things, it hadn't even been 10 years when I was discovering those bands, since they had been gone. And that definitely changes as you get older. I mean, and part of it is, when you're 20, 5 years ago was a quarter of your life ago.
Yeah, sure. But, one of the things setting out to do with ABC, and I mean, who doesn't have this desire? I don't know, maybe some people don't, because they want to make contemporary music they hope it's not disposable, but it's of the time. Exactly. I really wanted something timeless that people could, I was older when I started Perfect Circle. I was 29 when Mer de Noms came out. I had just turned 30 on May 18th. Mer de Noms came out May 23rd. I just turned 30. So, I mean, for all intents and purposes, I was older than, getting signed to your first thing and you're 18 or 20 or 22. So, yeah, I just thought, well, I want things that I can still play when I'm, you know, older. And,
Yeah,
I still feel like I can stand behind them. There's no internal eye roll happening with that record or anything we've done. I feel like we've kind of put the right foot forward. So
for
hopefully
sure.
other people agree. So